Pleasant day everyone, I'm Juvelin Bongon and I will discuss biodiversity. Ano nga ba ang biodiversity? Bio is relating to life, and diversity is a variety of different things. Therefore, a biodiversity is the variety of life in the world or in a particular habitat or ecosystem. Alam nyo ba na meron tayong 3 levels of biodiversity? Ito ay ang genetic, species, and ecological diversity. Genetic diversity is the product of recombination of genetic material in the process of inheritance, as it gives unique offspring by combining genes of parents. Species diversity is a measurement of biological diversity to be found in a specific ecological community. Ito ay tumutukoy sa bilang o dami ng mga species na mayroon sa isang lugar, the abundance o ang bilang ng bawat species at ang distribution or evenness of species. And lastly, the ecological diversity. It refers to the variation in the plants and animal species living together connected by food chains and food webs. Ecological diversity would also look into the variation in ecosystems such as desert, grasslands, forests, oceans, wetlands. Bakit nga ba mahalaga ang biodiversity? Mahalaga ang bahaging ginagampanan ng biodiversity sa pagpapatuloy ng buhay sa mundo. Mas maraming buhay na organismo sa isang lugar, mas makabubuti sa atin. Without biodiversity, life would not sustain.
Hi, I'm Jake Sajonia and I will discuss to you the threats to biodiversity and its conservation. The biodiversity. Diversity in life forms suffers greater threat from Number 1. Habitat loss and degradation, which is any thinning, fragmentation, or destruction of an existing natural habitat, reduces or eliminates the food resources and living space for most species. Species that cannot migrate are often wiped out. Example includes prairies being invaded by woody species such as intern red cedar and streams being degraded by runoff of sediments and chemicals from adjacent cropland. Number 2. Indiscriminate use of natural resources causes a shortage, more depletion of the forest, more land used for population to survive, creates an irreversible balance in the atmosphere, overexploitation of resources and degradation of that habitat result in the extinction of species. Number 3. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, such as through variations in the solar cycle. Human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. At marami po ang hindi nakakaalam nito, pero isa sa pinakamalaking rason ay ang plowing. Ito ay nagdudulot ng soil erosion that will eventually turn a healthy soil into a dust. It will eventually cover the atmosphere of too much carbon to a specific area. And number 4. Water pollution occurs when harmful and toxic waste chemicals or other particles enter water bodies such as rivers, ponds, seas, oceans, etc. Gets dissolved in them or lies suspended in the water or gets deposited in the bed or sa ilalim na parte ng tubig, resulting in the degradation in the quality of water. In some cases, may mga underground factory na nagtatapon ng toxic waste within the nearby ocean or sea just to avoid the fee to dispose their waste properly. Now, what can we do to help to at least extend the life of such as we have been grasping to get right now? That's when conserving to biodiversity comes in. In this, we have in situ and ex situ. Let's talk about in situ first. In situ conservation of biodiversity is the conservation of species within their natural habitat. In this method, the natural ecosystem is maintained and protected. Certain protected areas wherein situ conservation takes place including national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. And the second one is ex situ. Ex situ conservation of biodiversity involves the breeding and maintenance of endangered species in artificial ecosystem such as zoos, nurseries, botanical gardens, gene banks, and etc. There is less competition for food, water, and space among the organisms.
Good day everyone, I am Judith Montero and today I'm gonna discuss to you the effects of biodiversity to our physical health. A healthy biodiversity creates a healthy society. Karamihan sa mga ingredients sa paggawa ng medicines ay nanggagaling sa mga halaman like herbs and fruits. It's not just the medicines that connects our society to biodiversity. Nagpo-produce din ang biodiversity ng mga healthy foods like vegetables, water, and meat for our consumptions. Food chain and food web are the two fundamental ways that our ecosystem use to create a healthy body for every living things and a community. Sa pamamagitan nito, natatransfer ang energy at nutrition from one animal or plant to another, and as the human is on top of the cycle, we benefits from all of these nutrients na naprocess mula sa food chain and food web. Human pollution to any bodies of water contributes the destruction of our biodiversity and this cause disease. Some local community na nasa remote areas ay kumukuha ng tubig inumin sa mga sapa. Now, if the water is polluted, this will cause them to have diarrhea or even poisoning that may cause death. And of course, hindi lang ito nangyayari sa mga anyong tubig. Pollution also affects the air that we breathe. Disrupting the balance of biodiversity will also change the abundance of ecosystem. Kung gagawin nating polluted ang lupa where tree-bearing fruits grow ay magkakaroon ito ng bunga na kulang sa sustansya. Dahil dito, magkakaroon ng malnutrition ang consumers dahil ang mga puno na nagpuproduce ito ay polluted na. The disruption also creates scarcity of resources na makukuha sa ecosystem. And because of this, people will rely on processed foods that aren't healthy but full of calories, sugar, and other artificial ingredients.
Hi, this is Ryan Magnaye. In biodiversity, there is an effect on our mental health. When we are stressed or tired from city life, the first thing that we think is to leave from work and go to a vacation, pagpunta sa beach or pag-akit sa bundok. Alam naman natin noong pandemic na usang pagtatanim ng halaman sa bahay o itinatawag natin mga plantito at plantita. Imbis na nagmumukmok ang mga tao sa bahay dahil hindi makalabas because of the lockdown, they chose to plant various kind of flowers and trees. Ito ang naging stress reliever ng mga tao para matanggal ang stress nila nang dahil sa virus na kumakalat. So these are some examples of how healthy biodiversity creates a healthy society.